Hello there. This is Robert here. Thank you guys for watching Slow Life Trading videos on YouTube. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and of course subscribe if you're not already. Today we're going to be coming at you with a debate from Mr. Ferrell and Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert is going to be talking about the compound collar, and Mr. Ferrell is going to be talking about the dollar cost averaging. Okay, so I have a group of questions I'm going to ask each one of them, and I'm going to give each one of them time to answer it. There will be no rush on their answers because I want people to get it, and I want it to be plain and clear so people will understand. Okay? The first question I'm going to ask is, how does each one of them work? Okay? And we're going to start this off with the compound collar. First of all, I want to say thank you for picking me to do the compound collar. It's one of my favorite strategies. In fact, I think it's the best strategy. Okay, so how does it work? With a compound collar, what you do is you buy your favorite stock that you like, okay? Or you buy your favorite index that you like. But the key is you want it to be a stocks that move at least $5 a month. And if it moves at least $5 a month, what you want to do is buy that stock, and then at the same price that the stock is, you want to buy a put. And then you want to do this on an option that's, maybe about 30 to 45 days out, okay? Now, that put is going to serve as insurance in case that stock goes down. Because remember, if you buy a put, it's like a bet if the stock goes down, okay? So if this stock goes down, your put is going to increase in price. And if that put increases in price, what you do is you sell that put and make some money on that put. And with the money that you make on that put, you go and buy more shares, okay? Now, the problem is with this strategy is you have to pay for that put, and that sucks. So in order to help pay for that put, what we do is go out somewhere between about 60 to 90 days on an option expiration, and we find the price that's above the price of the stock, where the option is about half the price of that put, okay? And what we do is we sell that one, and that helps to pay for your put. If the stock goes up, you make money on the stock. If the stock goes down, you make money on the put. You lose money on the stock, but the put makes up for it. And with it going down, you take that money from the put and buy more shares of stock. And it's kind of like dollar cost averaging, but different and a lot better. Anyway, so that's how it works. I hope people understand that. Okay, now, with dollar cost averaging, the way that it works is pretty simple. You find a stock or index or whatever you want to invest your money in, okay? And every month, you add the same amount of money to it. For instance, let's say you wanted to buy the index, say the S&P 500 index or the SPYs or the NASDAQ 100 or whatever it is that you wanted to buy, or Apple or Tesla or whatever it is. And you say, I want to add $100 to this stock every month, okay? The good news is you don't have to buy these things one share at a time. You can buy pieces of it. And I knew you could do this a long time ago, and then with Robinhood, I found out you can do this even to this day. So I'm sure you can do it with any investor. But what you do is you take that, say you start this thing out with I don't know, you had some money saved up with $500, or you didn't have this thing saved up. You started out with $100. You take, let's say, the 10th day of every month, and you put $100 into that stock, and you buy it $100 worth every month. If it's a $100 stock, you can be buying 1 share a month. If it's a $50 stock, you'll be buying 2 shares. If it goes up to $200, you only be buying a half a share, okay? But you putting the same amount of money into it every single month. And long term, you're gonna average your price. That's why they call it dollar cost averaging. Your price is gonna be a certain amount. You're gonna be buying low and buying high. And hopefully over the long term, it has a trajectory of going up, okay? And then every now and then, if you see a big chance where the market went way down, if you have some extra money, you want to be buying more shares during that time, okay? That's how dollar cost averaging works. Okay, our next question is, I know both of you guys, you like the strategy that you're playing with, but what I want to know and what the people want to know is, why should I invest this way? Or why should a person invest the way that you're talking about? So the question is, why should you invest this way? Well, the people that I've been trying to reach, or that I wish I could reach, dream that I could reach, is the people who have either left their job and have a large 401k that they have to roll over into an individual IRA. And what they could do with that money is buy whatever index that moves, again, like I say, buy that and then put insurance on it to protect them from the downside. That insurance is that put. You should do this because this is a long-term strategy, and instead of just buying the stock and hope it keep going up, and when it goes down, you don't make any money, with the compound collar, what you do is, when it goes down, and as we know, stocks will go down eventually, especially if you're holding it for a long period of time, say like 5 years. Well, when it goes down, you make money on those puts, and the money you make on those puts allow you to dollar cost average your stock and buy more shares, okay? So the reason why you should do this is because, number one, I think everybody should be investing in their future. But the thing is, when you just buy a stock, you're not protected on the downside. And anything can happen, okay? Anything can happen. If nothing else happens but just the stock comes out with bad earnings and the stock falls. Or if it's an index, threat of war, anything. So that's the reason why I think you should invest this way. Number one, everybody should invest, and I think this is the best strategy to invest with. So that's why I think you like it. The reason why you should invest this way with dollar cost averaging is because you need to invest some kind of way. And everybody don't have a whole lot of money to get started. So with dollar cost averaging, it allows you to start wherever you are. If you only have $25 a month to invest, start with $25. If you have $100 a month where you can invest, start with $100. Let's say you can do a down payment of $1,000, and then after that you say, I want to save $100. Well, you take $1,000, you go buy $1,000 worth of whatever you want to, and then you start doing your $100 a month. Or you could break that $1,000 up. You say, okay, for the first 3 months, I'm gonna do $300 each month. Then after that, I'm gonna start doing $100 a month. With dollar cost averaging, what it allows you to do is start wherever you are, okay? If you wanted to start with $10,000 and start putting in $1,000 a month, dollar cost averaging can help you, okay? because the stock market can eat up whatever kind of size of money you have, whether it's a little bit of money or a whole lot of money, okay? So the reason why you should invest this way is because investing is important to your long-term future. And you have to have a way other than just putting your money in the bank to grow your money. When I was a kid or when I was younger, my parents didn't know about investing. What they taught me to do was to save, okay? Man, I wish they would have knew about investing. I would be so much better off now. So start if you can while you're young. And the way to do that is with dollar cost averaging. Good answer, guys, I guess, from both of you. The next question I have for you, which is the third question, is what I want to know is, how do I make money in this strategy? You know, can I make money only when the market goes up, only when it goes down, or what? Let me know. I want to know how to make money in this strategy, or how my money is made in this strategy. So you want to know, how do you make money in this strategy? The way that you make money in this strategy is the same way you make money in any strategy. When the price goes up, okay? Or if you're collecting a dividend. But the good news is when it's going down, you may not be making a profit, but you're able to buy more shares of stock. Just like with the compound collar. Just like with dollar cost averaging. But with dollar cost averaging, you have to get the money from your pocket. With this strategy, the compound collar, you get your money from the put option that increased as the stock went down. And you take that money and buy more shares of stock. So when it goes up, not only will your original purchase go up in value and you make money, but the stock that you bought with the puts will go up in value and you make money. But you make money when the stock goes up. The way that you make money with dollar cost averaging is, for instance, for an example, the stock market has an average growth rate of between 8 and 12% a year, okay? Now, does it mean it's gonna make 8 to 12% every year? No, you're gonna have some down years, and you're gonna have some years that are bigger than 8 to 12%. You're gonna have some 30% years. You're gonna have some probably 30% years down, okay? But if you really had this planned out the way, if this worked out the way you wanted to work, you would really want this thing to go down every time you put money in it. And the reason being is because you would be buying it cheaper, okay? And then after you start putting money in it, you would want it to start going up, okay? Because now you done bought cheaper, and now that you do through buying, it's just going up, 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 okay? But we know that's not the way it works. So what we do in this thing is we just buy, put money in every single month, and let the averages play out. The way it works is the way it works with almost any kind of stock. You make your money when the market goes up, but you averaging your price, because sometimes you're gonna buy high, sometimes you're gonna buy low, and hopefully, even if that price is in the middle of that, you still will be sitting at an even. If it's a little bit higher than what your average is, you're gonna be making a profit, okay? And then the other thing is, if you buy a stock that has a dividend, you also making money on the dividend, and you letting that money also be reinvested and growing. So this thing is not complicated. You don't have to watch the market every day or anything like that. What you want to do is just make sure you do it consistently. Add money every single month. It does two things. It gets you in the habit of saving, and you're investing your savings. So anyway, that's how it works. Okay, the next question is, which is a very important question, how do I lose money in this strategy? Okay. They both seem to be good strategies and all, but how do I lose my money? Okay. Because the market don't just go up. We know that. The market can go down. So please tell me, how can I lose my money? How can I, how can you lose money? Okay. The way that you lose money on this strategy is just like with any other strategy, the stock goes down, okay? But because you have insurance, you're protected on some of that loss, but you had to pay for the insurance, okay? And so that part is what you're going to lose. And even when it pays you because it went down, I mean, you're going to lose some. So, but you shouldn't lose no more than somewhere between about 5 or 10%, even when the stock falls really big. Because if it falls really big, you can take that money and buy more shares with it, okay? Me and a buddy of mine was looking at Facebook, and it went from $300 and something down to $88. In a situation like that, you would have wished that you had a compound collar on it, because it done went all the way back up to $300. You could have doubled the amount of shares you had without putting any new money into it, okay? So, you lose money just like you would with any other stock. It goes down. But your losses are capped to a certain amount. You would not be losing nowhere near as much as you would if you just owned the stock without having this. They call it a protective put. You can call it insurance or whatever you want to call it. But that insurance is, in fact, I know people that are trading this stock and they almost wishing that the stock would, they not almost, they are wishing that the stock would go down. And the reason being, they know that when the stock goes down, they collect money on those puts, okay? And they know with those puts, they can buy more shares of stock. So you can lose money, but it's limited, and you have a long-term trajectory. So, and we know stocks don't go down always, and they don't go up always. So if you're gonna invest, I think this is the smartest way to do it. The key is you got to have enough money to do it. You can't do it with no $25 or $30. How can you lose money with dollar cost averaging? Well, you can lose money just like you can lose money on anything. You're still buying at a certain price, even if your price end up being lower than what the guy that would have bought when it was way up high. If the stock is down from where your average is, that's how you can lose money. So, but again, the goal is not to get in this thing this year and get out at the end of the year. The goal is to have a long-term plan and be able to look down the road and see that over the long haul, stocks are businesses, guys. And you're buying some of the top businesses in the United States. Or you should be if you bought the S&P 500. Or if you just go buy a company that you like. It's a business. What you're believing is that long term, this business is going to grow. Well, long term is going to grow. It don't mean that you can't lose value short term in this company. They can have a bad quarter. They can have a bad year. They can have a bad 2 or 3 years. Okay? But you want to be looking long term. And you want to see a company that's going to have some staying power. For instance, let's say you dollar cost average Coca-Cola. If you look back and see what Coca-Cola has done over the last 5 or 10 years, and you would have just put a certain amount of money in it every single month, Coca-Cola would have made you money in 2 ways, from the dividend and from the price of the stock. Would you have lost money some of them years? Yeah. Coca-Cola had some bad years. I remember back when I was a kid, they tried to change the flavor of Coca-Cola. And I'm sure, I don't know because I wasn't watching the stock market back then, but I'm sure the stock went down. Well, you would have been losing money at that point in time, okay? So the way you lose money in this thing is just like with anything, if the price goes down, okay? Okay, my next question is, what is the average return for each one of these strategies? How much money can I expect to make per year from these strategies? So what is the average return on a compound collar? I think you can easily average about 25% a year, okay? Now, some years you may not make that much, but then there are some years where you'll make way more than that, okay? And then I have also seen people make 25% in less than 6 months. So, But it don't mean it's going to stay that way, because the stock could go right back down again, and you could start back making money from your puts again and taking in more cash. But on average, I think you should be able to make 25% a year. What is my average return? Well, it depends on what you buy. You have to look and see what the average return is on that particular item that you're investing in. But the average return on the stock market is somewhere between 8 to 12% a year. So if you put your money in the S&P 500, on average, you're probably going to make about 8 to 12% a year. Now, you could make more than that because you're dollar cost averaging. So if that price went down and then up and then down again and you bought, or if it has a big down, like in the summertime, and you just had some extra money and loaded up, and then at the end of the year, it goes right back up. Let me just give you an example. If the market starts out here at the beginning of the year and you putting your money in, it slowly goes up, okay? Then all of a sudden you hit summertime and it has a big down day for some crazy reason. We know these things happen. And you had a big lump sum and you piled in right there, okay? Instead of doing your extra $50, you've been waiting on something like this to happen, and you put in an extra $500. And then towards the end of the year, it starts going back up again, and it goes higher than where it started out at the year. Well, you can make more than the average because you bought extra when it was lower. So it just depends on how the stock market moves, and how your particular stock moves. They can have a bad earnings, a bad quarter, and it can nosedive. But on average, the stock market as a whole averages between 8 to 12% a year. Okay? Just something to know. Another question I want to know is, what if I have a big down year? What do I do then? Or, what should I do if the market is just having a big down year? Do I sell it? What? Let me know. So what if you have a big down year? Well, let me just give you an example. You could buy a stock at, say, I don't know, $50, for instance, right? And if it goes down to $25, that would be considered a big down year, okay? Well, with the money that you took in from it going down $25, you probably could double, if not double, almost double the amount of shares that you had. So even if the stock did go down to half and you have a big down year, okay, with the money that you're making from the puts and you buy more shares, let me just put it this way. If that stock went to $25 and you was able to buy, let's say if you had 1,000 shares and you was able to buy another, 800 shares at a cheaper price, even though it's down, you're not going to be down as much because you took that money and bought more shares with it. And now when it actually starts to return and go back up, it don't have to go up as much before you start making a profit, okay? So you kind of welcome big downs as long as it's something that you believe in and it's something that you know is going to be around and rebound, okay? So if you have a big down year, hopefully that's the year that you can add more money. Or hopefully that's the year you say, man, this seems like it's going to be a bad year. That could be a year where you go from putting in $50 a month or $100 a month to maybe doing $150 or $200. Or you can go from $250 a month to $300 a month now, okay? Because since it's a down year, you want to take advantage of that down year. Because, again, you picked this stock, right? And you believe it's going to be around for the long term. Well, if it's going to be around for the long term, when it's down, look at it as it being on sale. Now you can buy it at a cheaper price. Don't worry about what you had. Look at what you can get now. And what that does is, if you bought it was real high and now it's really down low, what you're doing is you bringing your average price down. As it goes down, your average price is going down, which means your average price that you bought is getting cheaper. That's a good thing when you know this is a company that's going to be around for the long term. If you the type of person that have a problem picking a stock, don't try to be a rocket science and go pick some new company that you think is going to grow. Pick something that's stable, that's already been here. Pick the Coca-Cola. Pick the Pepsi. You know what I mean? Go pick Apple, Facebook, Meta. Pick them stocks, or just pick the S&P 500. I like to use a lot of times the RSP, which is the S&P 500 equally weighted, which means every stock is valued at the same. Okay? However you do it, just know that you're the one doing it. You're the one that's picking that stock, okay? So you won't be able to blame anybody else, but trust me, you'll be happy that you won't be able to blame anybody else if you stay in this long enough, because it's gonna turn out to your benefit very well. Okay, the next question I want to know is, what if I have a big positive year? Do I sell it? Do I stay in it? What do I do? Let me know. What if you have a big up year? Well, here's the funny part about this. With the compound collar, you almost wish you didn't have a big up year. Okay? Now, if you do, just like anything else, you're going to be making money. But with the way this strategy works, you're going to be paying money. Okay? And for some reason, it just don't feel as good when you're making money as it does when the stock is losing value, which is crazy. But it'll feel good when you see your return is really high. Okay, so if the stock have a big up year, then you're gonna make some big up money. Simple as that. If you have a big up year, what you should do then is keep adding money to it every month. Just keep adding money to it every month. And here's why. A trend in motion tends to stay in motion until it's not in motion. Well, just because it's having a big up year don't mean it can't go higher, okay? Years ago, I'm gonna give you two examples here. Years ago, when I first was getting into this thing, I was looking at IBM, okay? And I was like, man, IBM is up to $100. Man, it's kind of hard to buy now. And I think it was like at 70 something. I was like, it's kind of hard to buy now. About 2 years later, that sucker was at $200, okay? Well, guess what? It wasn't too late to buy when it was at its high at $100, because it doubled from that point in time. So just because something is high or you having a great year, this is dollar cost averaging. You buy the same dollar amount every single month unless it goes down. Then you want to start adding more. But if it goes up, you just keep adding the same amount of money to it every month. Same amount of money to it every single month, okay? Don't matter if it's a big up year. The next year could be even up higher, because this is not a 1 year strategy. This is something you want to be doing for like 5 years plus. You want to give it time to work. You want to give it time to have your ups and downs and your ups and downs, okay? Because over the long run, it's dollar cost averaging. Your average price should be, in the long term, lower than what the price is down the road. So if you have a big year in this stock and it's just really growing, or in the market or whatever, what you want to do is just keep adding money to it every month. Oh man, the people have hit us with some really good questions. This is question number 7. It says, what if I have a big unforeseen something that happened, like for instance 9/11 or the Great Recession that happened in 2008? Because right now we got 2 wars going on, and We just don't know. So what if an unforeseen thing happens? What should I do then? Should I buy more? Should I sell? Should I stay in? Should I get out? Let me know. Okay. If the stock has the market has a big unforeseen thing that can make the market crash, well, that can happen whether you have a compound collar or you just buying stock or whatever. But if it's going to happen, the best thing that you could do is have a compound collar because you have insurance on the downside if it falls. So you would love that to happen. In some situations, I ain't gonna say you just love it because, you still would be losing money, but your puts would make so much money till, for instance, if 911 happened, okay, and the stock market crashes and it has a big down, your puts are going to be worth a lot. However much it falls, for the most part, your put is going to be worth at least that much. Well, you could take that money and buy way more shares while it's down, okay? So even though you hate it's down, you're able to benefit from it big time. And with that money that you made while it was down, you can buy more shares. Because 911 is not going to last forever. And this is a long-term strategy, okay? So you're protected. That's why I love it. It's because you're protected from the downside. Not 100%, but it's a lot. If you have a big unforeseen something to happen, this is going to be hard, okay? But the gurus tell you the time you want to be buying is when there's blood on the streets, okay? Because that's when things are going to be the cheapest. I remember in the Great Recession, which is around 2008, 2009, real estate was on the ground. People were buying. I remember this one particular guy, and I don't know his name. That wasn't it. I'm sorry. That was with the hurricane that happened in Louisiana and Shreveport, not Shreveport, but Louisiana and down in the Gulf, or the South. There was some high-rise buildings that had all these windows broken and offices vacant. This guy bought this building, a skyscraper, tall building, real cheap, because the hurricane had messed it up. He took that building, refurbished it, and I don't even know where it is now, but I guarantee you that building has probably more than doubled, probably tripled, or even more than that since 2009 when he bought it, okay? So, and then if you look at the market that happened in 9/11, how deep it went down. Now, I know that's a long time ago, but if you look at it now, stocks are way higher. And then if you look at what happened in 2008 in the Great Recession when things was crashing, when people were selling their stock and getting out of them. If you would have been buying at that point in time because you know that the stock market is going to be here, you would be a very happy person right now. And you know how I tell you when you see the market is down big, that's when you take your extra money and start buying more? Well, if you have a situation that happened that's unforeseen, unfortunately, you didn't make it happen, but what you can do is take advantage of it. And the way you take advantage of it is start buying more, increase. You might not want to do it all at one time, but you want to increase what your monthly contributions are at that particular time, okay? And the reason why you don't do it all at one time, it may go lower and you may be wishing you would have spent more. But what you can do is you can go from $100 a month to $200 a month. And as it gets lower, and if you just see it just hit a crazy low number, now you may want to dump $500 in there and then keep doing your $200 a month every month, okay? Because down the road, you're going to be so happy you did. So in this situation, if the market falls big, an unforeseen thing happen, add more money. Okay, we're in both of these strategies and we're trading the stock market and all of that. But what I want to know is, when can we take our money out? You know, a lot of people like making money, but they say the money's not yours until you sell. So when do we get out of this thing? That would be something good to know. When can I take some profit? So when can you take money out? Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, this is a long-term strategy and you're not really trying to take money out. But there can be opportunities to take money out. Number one, if you just need some cash and the stock goes down, that would be the worst thing to do. That would be the worst time to sell stock. But guess what? Because your put is increasing in value, instead of buying more shares, you can just take the money from the put and still own the stock. That's one way you could take some cash out, right? And then if the stock goes way up, you can actually sell some of your shares and take money that way, okay? But here's the sweetest part I like about it. You know how when a stock goes way up and you're wondering, should I sell it or should I keep going? Because now you're scared that it may fall back down. Well, what you do is put insurance at that new level, and if it does fall back down, you'll make money from that put again. So you're constantly protecting yourself from the downside every time it goes up. But you can take money when it goes down, or you can take money when it goes up. And either way it goes, it won't hurt you, because when it goes down, you can take the money from the put. And when it goes up, you can sell the stock for a profit and take money from the stock. But that's not what you want to make it a habit of doing, because this is a long-term strategy. When can you take money out? Whew. Okay. They tell you when you're investing, don't use the milk money. Don't use the baby money. Don't use the rent money, because this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? This is one of them things where you're investing for your future, long-term. So you don't really want to be taking no money out definitely before 5 years, okay? And if you can go longer than that, that's even better. This strategy is something that's really made for young people, people with not much money, because they have time. They have time for the stock market to go through all its downs and everything and then come up high. But if you have to sell, the time you want to sell is not in a panic mode. The time you want to sell is when things are profitable. And when they are profitable, it's okay to take some profits, okay? In fact, you could even take some profits, and if it's an individual stock, you might want to move some of it over to another stock, okay, that you may believe in. Or if it's the S&P 500, hey, and it's doing good, you might want to just take some profits, period, and set it to the side. And then, you know, if you have to spend it, you have to spend it. But preferably, this is money that you have set aside where you don't have to spend it. Okay, good answer, guys. I got another good question for you. This is a really good question. Back in the 90s, I believe when it was, or the 2000s, I can't remember now, but the market stayed in a tight range. It wasn't really going up. It wasn't really going down. It would just kind of stand sideways, they would say. Okay, so my question is, what if the stock or the stock market stays in a tight range for a long period of time? Can I still make money during that time? Or should I get out? What should I do? I'd love to hear your answers on that. Okay, this is going to be another reason why you like the compound collar. He asked the question, what if the market stay in a tight range for a short period of time, basically go sideways? Well, this is the reason why you look for a stock that has at least a $5 movement every month, because any stock can go to a flat period of time. But even when it's flat, if it's the right stock, you're going to be getting $1 moves, and $2 moves. Well, with this strategy, a $1 move can be enough for you to still keep generating money, up or down. If it goes down $1, you can generate some money on that put. If it goes up $1, you'll be generating money on your call. Here's the sweet part about this strategy. if you got a stock, depending on the price of it, and let's say it's about $40, and it keep going from 40 to 41, back down to 40, then up to 41. As crazy it may seem, if it done that for a whole month, every other day, you would still make money on those moves, because you would make more money on the put than you would have to pay when you make the adjustment when the stock goes up. I'm telling you, this is a fantastic strategy. Plus, you still would be making money from your dividend if your stock has one. Okay? So you can even make money in this thing if the market goes sideways. How many people can tell you that? And you can limit your losses if it goes down. There ain't many strategies out there that can do that, because they're afraid of a catastrophe happening. Okay? What they're hoping is that they got out just before it happened. Well, with us, we don't mind staying in because we have insurance. What if this stock or the market stays in a tight range? That's an easy question to answer. If it stays in a tight range and it's just kind of going sideways, you do the same thing. This not rocket science, people. With this strategy, you either add money or you add more money. It's pretty much that simple. So just because it's in a tight range, you're still going to be getting your dividend, and you're reinvesting them, and you still want to keep contributing your money every month. The best thing to happen if you're doing a dollar cost average is for every month you put money in, the stock goes down. Well, the next best thing that can happen is as you put money in, the market goes sideways. Well, so that means this is a good time to be putting money in. The market is going sideways. So if you get a long period of time where the market is going sideways, and this has happened over time, I think it was in the 90s this has happened, then you just keep adding your money. Okay, it's pretty much that simple. Okay, here's a big question. What I want to know. You know, everybody don't have a whole lot of money, and some people have a whole lot of money. What I want to know is, how much do I need to start doing either one of these strategies? Okay? Any one of y'all can go first. It don't matter. Okay, so the question is, how much do you need to start trading the compound collar? Be honest with you guys, I hate to answer this question, because if there's a downside, this is the downside. In order to trade the compound collar effectively, you need to have a lot of money. You know, we're talking 25, 30 plus 100, 25, 30,000, 100,000, 50,000, 500,000. You know, you need to have a lot of money to trade this strategy. Okay. And for that reason, I would say dollar cost averaging is probably better if you're just starting out. But like I said at the beginning of this, the people that I really wish could hear this is the people that come into a lump sum of money and want to invest it a safe way. The people that lost their job or quit their job and want to roll their 401k over into and start managing it for themselves. Okay, because they have to get it out of their job's 401k. And just anybody that has enough money to make this thing work effectively. And the reason why you have to have a lot of cash is because when you make the money on these puts, when it goes down, you buy more shares, right? But the problem is you have to do this strategy when you buying it. You have to do it you buy them in 100 share increments, you know, a 100 share block, basically. You can't buy 1 or 2 shares or 50 shares at a time. You have to buy 100 at a time. So that's the downside to this. So it takes a lot of money to start this strategy up. But you also going to see growth faster with a lot of money, because if let's say for instance you got 1,000 shares and you make $3 on your put or $2 on your put. Well, $2 with options equals to $200. If you got 1,000 shares, that would be $200 times 1,000. Okay, so the money can really add up quick. and I may have calculated that wrong, but I just know this: you can buy a whole lot more shares if you have a whole lot more money. And remember, you have to buy them in 100 share blocks. So for that reason, that could be a downside for the compound collar, but that may be the only downside. How much do I need to, or how much do you need to start this strategy? The cool thing about dollar cost averaging is you can start it with anything. Main thing you have to do is, and I suggest that you do it on your own, but you don't have to. You can open up a brokerage account, an investment account, and you can have this money, set it up with your bank or whoever it may be. Okay, you can have this money set on a certain day, a certain amount, go into this certain stock or index fund or whatever it is every single month. And you can start it with as little as maybe, I don't know, they probably want you to start it with more than $25, but you can probably at least start it with $250, $500, okay? And you can start this out by, if you just had to, save $50 a month until you get up to that amount of money that you can start with. $25 a week or whatever it is, okay? The main thing is to start saving and then get to the point where you start investing. Key point there. The main thing is to start. The amount of money at the time don't matter. So, like I told you, this is something that's made for young people or people that don't have much money, because it gives you a way to start investing for your future without having a whole lot of money. And if you were like me, you start out with not having a whole lot of money, okay? They may laugh at you when you walk out the door that you only starting with $25 a month, but guess what? You starting. And if they laughing at you and they do it when you leave, so be it. If they do it while you're there, get up and leave and go to another broker. But hey, you getting started. That's the main thing. Okay, I got another good question for you guys. I asked you guys earlier, what should I do if the market goes down or something like that, okay? But here's another question. Can I make money in this strategy if the stock is going down? Okay, let me know, how that works. If the stock is going down, can I still make money, or am I losing money, or whatever? Just let me know how this strategy works when the market is going down. So the next question is, can you make money if the stock goes down? Well, you can make money from the dividend, I guess. That don't mean, depends on how much it falls. It don't necessarily mean it's going to show you have a profit. And you can take in money and make money on your put, but it don't necessarily mean you have a profit. But you can take in cash, okay? Cash money, because your put will increase as the stock goes down. But the goal with this strategy is not to take that money and go spend it. The goal is to take that money and buy more shares with it. But as far as taking in cash, yes. As far as making a profit, no. Okay. Can you make money if the price of the thing that you're in, stock, index fund, whatever, goes down? The answer is not really. But you can keep collecting the dividend if the price is going down. But what you want to do, you can't make money right now if the price goes down. But long term, if you're buying when the price is going down, long term, you should make more money, okay? That's why you got to have a vision to be able to look down the road. And that's why you got to have a long-term plan, 5 years plus. Because if you're looking at this as, man, this thing is going down, I'm losing money, it'll make you not want to put money in there. But if you're looking at this as like, man, this thing is going down, it's on sale, this is setting me up where I can make even more money, that's the idea to have. So short term, no. You won't be making money if the price goes down. But what you will be doing is getting a better price. You catching the stock on sale, okay? Facebook a year ago or 2 years ago, I can't remember right now, it was at 300 some dollars, and over the next 3-4 months, it fell all the way down to $88, I think. Okay, you can go back and look. If you would have been buying more, whereas it was going down, now it's back up to $300 again. You would have been so happy you was adding more money to it each year. So no, you didn't make money on the way down, okay? But you did put yourself in a better position for when it turned around and came back up again. So to wrap this up, guys, I just want to say that dollar cost averaging may not be the best strategy out there, but it is one of the easiest ways to invest and the cheapest ways to get started investing. And what you want to learn how to do is to invest. This is like the gateway to starting investing. And as you start to invest long term, it's going to make your life better. And especially if you don't have a 401k. If you do have a 401k, putting your money in a 401k is dollar cost averaging, okay? Because they take the money out of your paycheck every time you get paid, and they invest it in the particular vehicles or assets or stocks that you tell them to put it in. They put it in them same stocks every month at the same time. So all that happens if you set it up yourself is you doing it on your own. So you being disciplined on purpose, okay? But if you don't have that discipline, just put the money in your 401k, okay? That is a great way to start. Anyway, with that, I hope that answered a lot of your questions on the compound collar. And I'm sorry, not the compound collar, but on dollar cost averaging. Because it's investing, guys, will make your future brighter, okay? You may not make as much as the next guy, but at least you on the road to getting there. Okay, I'm at question number 13, and this is my last question, okay? Here it is. Now that both of these strategies, you guys are saying that I can buy more when the price is cheaper, or when the stock goes down. But what I want to know is, that's cool to say, but what if I have all my money in this stock? Or I don't have all my money in the stock. But you know, when the market is going down, it's scary to buy more at that time. And if I do want to buy more, where do I get this money from? Answer that question for me. Okay, so you're saying that I know that with the option that you're saying that we buy more shares when the stock goes down. Yes. But I'm going to tell you the difference between the compound collar and dollar cost averaging is when the stock goes down on a dollar cost averaging and you buy more shares of stock, you have to put more new money into it from your pocket. Okay? With the compound collar, when the stock goes down, your put gives you the money to buy more shares, to put more money into this stock. So you don't have to risk new money when it's going down, even though you still will be putting in more money to buy more shares. So the money comes from the puts when the stock goes down, which is why this strategy is so awesome. Basically, your money comes from the insurance that you collect because your stock is losing money. And you take that money and you buy more shares of this stock. And the reason why you would do that is because you know this is a good, solid company. Okay? If Apple was to go down right now, do you think Apple is going out of business? No. Okay? It's not going to happen. If Google was to go down, and it did, by the way, if Google was to go down to $90, do you think Google is going out of business? No. It's probably because they had a bad quarter, or the CEO quit, or got fired, or something like that. Okay? But you know Google ain't finna go out of business. It's too big. They have too many things that bring in income for this stock to go under. It can have a bad quarter or two. It may even have a bad year. But you will love that bad year when it comes back because your puts will be increasing in value and allowing you to buy more shares at a cheaper price. So, to me, guys, there's really no competition with the compound collar. It's the greatest strategy out there, okay? Dollar cost averaging is like a beginner strategy because you don't have to do anything. You just buy more shares of stock. You could even set it up to be on automatic. But the reason why I was so happy that he gave me the compound collar to talk to you about is because it's my favorite strategy, okay? Long term. And I think whether it's your favorite strategy or not, it's the greatest strategy out there. Because just like you do with anything else you buy, your house, your car, your refrigerator, your dishwasher, your stove, it gives you a warranty, a guarantee. It gives you insurance. All of them mean the same thing. It gives you protection from a loss, okay? Is it 100% protection? No, nothing is. But it sure is nice to have when it's going down. And in this case, we can take that money and buy more shares of stock with it, okay? So I love it, dude. It helps you sleep at night. You're not worried because we're going through a recession or any of that. You're not fearful of the Fed keep raising interest rates and they may kill the market and send us through a recession. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. It's the greatest strategy. So, I guess just like the compound collar, you buy more shares with this stock when the stock is down. But what you want to know is where do you get the money? Well, where you get the money from is it's the money that you're supposed to be saving and setting aside to invest for this thing anyway. And every now and then, you know, some people get bonuses. They get income tax returns. They get, I don't know, whatever it is where they get some extra money. They may have a big month on their job. And if they're working in commission, they have a big sale. This is where you get the money from. And when it's down, take some of this extra money when the stock is down and buy more shares with it. You get the money from wherever you get your money from, but you're supposed to be putting aside, they say save 10% a month, okay? I say you need to be saving more than that. You need to be saving 10% a month just for your investing. But if you're not saving 10% a month, whatever it is, that's where you get the money from, whether that's $100 a month, $50 a month, $25 a month, whatever it is. Or let's say you're saving 10% a month, but you're taking only a third of that to put towards your long-term investing. That's where you get the money from, okay? It ain't rocket science here. You get the money from that and you get the money from dividends. Well, dividends you have no control over. They coming in anyway and they automatically being reinvested. Well, the money where you get the money from depends on where your income source is. Take some of that money and put it into this thing. Instead of going out to eat dinner sometime, take that money and put it into your account and invest more with it, okay? Anyway, that's where the money comes from. And with that, I'd like to thank all of my participants, both of my participants, and I hope you can weigh these answers and decide for yourself which strategy you like the best. People are doing both of these in the market. Here at Slow Life Trading, we mostly talk about the compound collar because, you know, this guy, he loves to talk about, you know, how great the compound collar is. But there are other people who trade dollar cost averaging, and they're not doing well either. In fact, that's pretty much what a 401k is. And people that have 401ks are doing pretty good. So you have to decide for yourself which one you like the best. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this debate. Again, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow it. And if you're interested in joining Slow Life Trading, just click the link down below and it will send you to our website. And if you have any more questions, just put your comments down below. Or if you have any questions or anything down, just put your comments down below. And again, thank you for watching. As I always say, peace out and keep it slow.